are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate.
Monday Bully Live. What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about omega-3s and omega-6. How it is that food companies, the internet, it almost seems like a full-blown collusion, actually hide certain ratios you must have that can actually cause allergies to your dogs. Not only that, we're going to get into a little bit more nutrition as to how this ratio, along with other vitamins, when you bring it together, can actually make your female be more, what's the word, fertile? Yeah, have more puppies. So if you have been having issues with females getting pregnant, pyometria, missing their heat, anything like that, we're going to be talking about that today. And in order to do that, I'm bringing in my dude, co-host with the most, Mr. Money Mizike. What's up, bro?
What's up, fam?
Hey, man, nothing much. Hold on, man. Kyle, can you get the Christmas spirit? There you go. More like it. There you go.
I love it.
Kyle is on the ball tonight, man. He ain't playing around. He told me, he said
Christmas is okay until New Year's.
Yeah, he just recovered. All right. He just recovered from all the drinking he did, right, during the Christmas time. And now, you know, he's more on the ball. I appreciate it. He's having a ball with it, man.
Shout out to my son-in-law, Landon, man, for getting me this cool hat for Christmas.
I like that. What does it say on there? Poncho?
It's Poncho.
Oh, okay. Is that going to be your new nickname over here on the show? Mr.
I'm already Miguelito.
Miguelito Hernandez. That's how we're going to do it, man. Hey, real quick, we got Miss Shatry in the house, like always. We got Sykes Pups OEB. Let's go. They're ready to rock and roll with us, man. Dracula saying, what's up, everybody, all the way from the UK. Shatry saying she loves the topic. Brayman Bull saying, what's up? What's up, my dude? Ricardo Camarena, what's going on? We got Christina Higginson. Hello, fam. Right? We got Inserata in the house. We got Eric Perez. We got Martin Garcia. What's going on, fellas? Nico. Oh, no, my bad. Nacho Line. And we got Inserata. Looks like I'll have a New Year's baby's vet. Saw 6 today. All right.
Congratulations, man.
Congrats. Gerardo Martinez, Young Bullies Association. There you go, man. Got a bunch of people up in here, man. So listen, hey, we got Ireland in the house, right? Ireland in the yard, not in the house. All right, Richard. VIP, hit that like button. Thanks for letting him know, man. Nacho saying what's up, and congrats on Shatry. Listen up, guys. So I recently made a video, which you can see the thumbnail right here behind me, where I'm breaking down omega-3 to omega-6 ratios. Now, I already made a video about that, explaining that we want it to be no worse than a 5-to-1 ratio, right? Now, hold on a second. I meant to take that off because I want to show you guys something.
I enjoyed that video, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, it's information that
it's a trip that different dog foods than what you might think wind up abiding by that 5-to-1 ratio.
That's it. That's it. So what we're going to do tonight is, first of all, take the omen or the weight off of my shoulders. If you can see, I looked up what's the best omega-6 to omega-3 ratio for dogs. Provide credible source, right? So the credible source that this is providing is going to be AFCO, which, by the way, regulates, or not regulates, but it has to do with the dry dog food and the dog foods that you see in the store, right? And the other one is, hold on, veterinary advice. Hold on. Here you go. NRC, right? So let's read this real quick. The best omega-6 to omega-3 ratio for dogs isn't a single number, but guidelines suggest aiming for 4-to-1 to 10-to-1, right? Omega-6 to omega-3, with the Association of American Feed Control Officials, that's AFCO, setting a maximum of 30 to 1. So I just want you guys to understand something already. When you have something regulating something or overseeing something like AFCO, if you notice, they're saying 4 to 1 to 10 to 1, and they're setting a maximum of a 30 to 1, right? This is when you already start, at least for me, when I start thinking, okay, are you guys getting paid under the table, or is the food industry, the pet food industry, that much bigger than you? Because how do we go from 4 to 1, even 10 to 1 to 30 to 1 being okay? I'm just saying. Though
That's
lower,
a lot of range.
it's a lot of range. So it says, though lower is better for reducing inflammation. So I really don't understand how we go to 30 to 1. Most commercial dog foods are too high in omega-6, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. So supplementing with omega-3s like fish oil with EPA DHA is often needed. But always consult your vet to find the right balance for your dog's specific needs. All right. So recommended ratios and guidelines. Look at this. Ideal range. Many sources suggest 4 to 1, 10 to 1 as a good target, with some experts advocating for closer to 1:1 to 1:2. So how the hell does AFCO limit the maximum allowable ratio in pet dog food to be 30 to 1? If we're looking at 1:1 or 1:2, at worst 10 to 1, how is it that AFCO, the one that's overlooking dog foods, is saying that the maximum allowable is 30 to 1, right? It says, but this is a high ceiling, not a goal. So I'm glad they threw that out there. The problem, diets often lean heavily towards omega-6 from grains and legumes. Why, Mike? Why do you think they're leaning on omega-6 from grains and legumes?
They're cutting costs by adding things as opposed to proteins.
See, that's why Money Mike is up here, guys. He's a sharp cat, man. Promoting inflammation while omega-3s from fish counteract it. Now, I want to tell you guys well, let's finish reading this before I tell you that.
Hey, bro, before when you read them, drop them down a little lower on the screen because they're under the Nuvet bottle, just so people can read along with you.
You got it, bro. Is this good right there?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, omega-6 is essential for immune response, but promote inflammation when excessive. So, guys, I don't want you to think that omega-6 by itself is bad, because it isn't. It is there to help the immune response. People don't comprehend sometimes, but sometimes when you're playing a sport and you say you get a bruise, what's happening is the bruise is an immune response because there has been damage to either tissue, bone, muscle, whatever the case may be. And that's why you get swelling. Inflammation is one of the first steps into repairing whatever's going on. So you need the immune response. And that's what omega-6 is or thrives at. Okay, that's what it does good. At. However, too much omega-6 versus omega-3 creates over-inflammation versus too little, right? Too little anti-inflammatory effect, right? So I don't want you to think omega-6 by itself is bad. Omega-6 becomes a problem when the ratio becomes too exaggerated. And it becomes exaggerated when you're adding grains and legumes with omega-6 at a very high rate in order to maximize your profit, because as a company, you really don't give a crap what you're feeding dogs. What you care about is keeping those shareholders happy as you're able to give them higher and higher dividends.
What that basically means is your omega-3 and your omega-6 have to be in proportion to each other. One goes up, the other one's got to go up.
Well, yes, and I'm going to even get into a little bit more here in a second. Let's read omega-3s. EPA DHA act as an anti-inflammatory, benefiting skin, joints, and cognitive function, right? Imbalance risks. Look, it's saying it right here. It's not me. Too much omega-6 can lead to chronic inflammation linked to obesity, diabetes, arthritis, and skin issues. A lot of you A lot of you, and here's where the internet takes you for a loop, right? So your dog is suffering from a particular allergy. So logically, you go online and you're going to type on there, what are the most common dog allergies? And then the internet's going to spit it out. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. With Google, ChatGPT, Grok, I don't care what AI it is, to think that there are not big industries behind them paying in order to manipulate your decisions, you have to be a full-blown fool, okay? So you go on the internet and you type, what are the most common dog allergens? Chicken, beef, dairy. And
well, it's meant to read. It's meant to read the internet, and it's not answering you based on logic. It's meant to answer you based on what it can dig off the web, and that's led by certain big companies, right?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No, that's what it wants you to think. Exactly what you said. It's what it wants you to perceive and think that that's what it is doing. But that's not what it is doing. Make no mistake about it. Google's got shareholders. So does ChatGPT. All right.
Right.
And don't even get me started with Grok. All right. There's money involved in all this. And you don't think that behind the curtain, Grok or whoever it is, it doesn't have to be Grok, could be any AI, is talking with any large industry, and the industry saying, hey, whenever somebody looks up for this, can you kind of put this there first? What's the slice of the pie that you want? Do you not think that this is happening? It's been happening throughout human history. What makes you think it's going to stop now? Right? So my point is this. You type, what are the main dog allergies? Because my dog is suffering from allergies. It's going to spit out chicken, beef, and dairy. And then it's going to wag the finger at these three things. So here you are feeding chicken kibble, and you're like, oh my God, that's the solution. Feed lamb, right? Because lamb is not chicken. It's not beef. It's not dairy. Let's feed lamb, right? Here's the problem. There's other things in that bag that are going to cause allergies. And one of those things I'm going to talk about tonight. I can't talk about all of them because it would be an 8-hour show, and we're not about to do that. But we're going to be talking about the ratio of omega-6, right, which is going to cause an inflammatory response because it helps the immune system, right, and omega-3, which is an anti-inflammatory, okay, and it's actually going to balance that omega-6 and naturally does it in nature, okay? The problem lies when you have a bag of kibble that they're trying to sell you and they're trying to maximize their profit. They're going to give you all the omega-6 you don't need, and they're going to give you very little of the omega-3 you do need. And it affects so many things. Let me give you guys an example. If you keep your dogs in the right ratio, and we're going to get into that here in a second, when you keep them in the right ratio, at least there's one less variable that is causing the allergies in your dogs. I'm not here to say that the omega-6 to omega-3 imbalance is the only thing causing allergies. I'm not saying that. Okay, what I'm saying is one more variable that you can totally disregard if you have the ratios correct. What is the ratio? Well, we just read about it. I'm going to go out here on a limb and say 5-to-1, the ratio 5 omega-6 to 1 omega-3 is going to balance things out. However, I will also say on record, the lower you could go on that ratio, if you could go 1-on-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, that's even better, okay? Because you're going to have more of an anti-inflammatory effect throughout the body than you will an inflammatory one.
But you're not going to find that in a kibble, more than likely, right? Does any product that we know of have anything available with that kind of ratio?
Yes, sir.
1-to-1, 1-to-2, 1-to-3?
Yes, sir. I actually, in this last video with this thumbnail, I actually found a kibble that I want to say it was either 2-to-1 ratio or really close to it. It was 2-to-1 ratio or really.
It was that brand that we hadn't done a video on before. that you covered, wasn't it? That they had the 10 pounds heavier.
You know what? I don't remember the brand off the top of my head.
I just watched the video
You're
myself,
gonna
but I can't think of it.
You're gonna have to watch the video, but I can definitely tell you that there is a brand out there that is not going to cost you $1 million or anything like that, and it actually has a very favorable 2-to-1 ratio. But you don't have to go overboard with a 2-to-1 ratio. Also, at the end, if you guys remind me, guys that are watching and gals, if you remind me, I will tell you how you can actually balance any kibble just about to have a minimum of that 5-to-1 ratio, if not better. But you have to remind me. I'm just not going to come out and say it. And between now, by the time we finish, I'll probably forget. So make sure to remind me on that. Real quick, I want to show you guys what I'm talking about so you can see it in real time. I'm going to go ahead and bring up a particular kibble that I actually went over in this video. I reviewed in this video, and it's none other than Blue Buffalo. And I bring it up because it's a very common brand. I always use Victor, so I said, hey man, let me go use another one. So what you're seeing here is part of the nutritional label, right? Or better yet, this is the nutritional label, but it's not showing the ingredients. We'll go to that screen here in a minute. I want you for just a minute to forget about the protein, fat, and fiber. And I want you to concentrate for just a moment right here on 3.0 and 0.5. Okay. We were talking about omega-6, and we're saying that omega-6 helps the immune system cause inflammation. Okay. And so omega-6 here is at 3.0, and omega-3 fatty acid is at 0.5.
That's what, 6-to-1?
This is a 6-to-1. Now, it's not the worst, offender out there. I've seen far worse than this.
It's
But
still
this-
way within range of their top line that they say, but it's terrible, right?
But this is still outside of a 5-to-1 ratio.
That's right. Yeah.
So, well, Raul, but I really like Blue Buffalo. Boo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, I get it. Here's the problem that you have. You're feeding this to your dog. Say you feed it for an entirety of a year. You have now accumulated more inflammation than you have anti-inflammatory effect. So now you want to breed your female, but your female has possibly pyometria. Now, let me tell you guys something about pyometria that you might not know. Everybody's going to say, well, no, duh. Pyo means pus, which means infection, and metria means uterus. And so pyometria means uterine infection. Yes. But the main reason or the most inclined reasoning as to why dogs get pyometria is not even a bacterial infection. It's actually hormonal. Why? Because when a female, when her hormones are not right, the fluid in the uterus can become thickened. And when that becomes thickened, it takes longer for it to come out of the uterus and make its way out like it normally does. And it actually stays viable and gives enough time for bacteria to get to it and colonize. Thus, you end up with pyometria. Here you are being a fan of whatever brand that doesn't have a 5-to-1 ratio, and you've been feeding it, and because my dog doesn't show allergies with it, this and that. Okay, great. But there is a chance that you can be causing something else like pyometria. Okay. This is one reason why I'm going to tell breeders, and I know not everybody watching is a breeder, but if you are a breeder, this 5-to-1 ratio, you should know this by heart. When you go get a bag of kibble, or if you want to change a bag of kibble, or whatever the case may be, you should know by heart, you should be looking for that 5-to-1 ratio. I get all the time. I just dropped this video, and you go to the comments, oh, what do you think about this brand? Bro, click on the video, watch what I'm talking about, 5-to-1 ratio. I'm sure everybody here can divide by 5 or multiply by 5. I'm pretty sure of that. And if you follow the guideline on the video, you're going to realize what I think about whatever kibble there is out there, because we're going to look at First, we're going to look at the 5-to-1 ratio on omega-6 to omega-3, and then we're going to look at the ingredients. Talking about the ingredients, let me go ahead and bring up the ingredients over here with Blue Buffalo so you can get an idea what it is that I'm looking at, right? So here's what we're looking at as far as ingredients. Can you see it on the screen? Because I can't see the screen right now.
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. So let me see how big I can get it. That way, here you go. Mike, can you see it now?
Yeah, drop it down a hair.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make it smaller. There's no way. All right.
Just a little smaller. I could read it right there, though.
Okay, so check it out, man. First ingredient, deboned chicken. That's not bad. That's all right. Then we go to chicken meal. All right. Here's where the skin and the muscle, and you know you're getting more skin than muscle. Pretty much, they might as well call it chicken cracklings. But okay, chicken meal. Okay, I can live with that. Then we go to brown rice. Then we go to oatmeal. Then we go to barley, right? Peas, right? So first two ingredients are not the worst, but then we go downhill. But to be fair with Blue Buffalo, majority of the dry dog foods out there, they're going to give you two. The good ones are going to give you three decent ingredients, first three, and then they go downhill from there. But I want you to look at something. I want you to look at flaxseed, source of omega-3 and 6 fatty acids. This, to me, and this is just my opinion, this is Blue Buffalo patting themselves on the shoulder. They're showing you that they got flaxseed, and it's a source of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, right? So you would probably, if you saw this live and then you went and saw that label, you probably would say to yourself, man, Raul don't know what the hell he's talking about because, man, Blue Buffalo, they source their omega-3 from flaxseed, right? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask Google, right? Can dogs process omega-3 from flaxseed, right? And again, this is not just me saying it. I'm purposefully looking up these things this way. Hold on. Yeah, here you go. So let me bring it right up and let me show you guys. Yeah, here we go. Can dogs process? And the answer is yes, right? But wait, you need to read a little bit more because that's what happens to a lot of you when you go into Google. You just look for that first word and you don't read everything else. It says, can you see it on the screen, Mike?
Yes, I can.
Okay. It says, I asked up here, can dogs process omega-3 from flaxseed? The answer is yes. Dogs can process omega-3 from flaxseed, but not efficiently. They struggle to convert the ALA, which is the alpha linolenic acid in flax, into the vital EPA DHA forms, making fish krill oil much better for therapeutic effects. Though ground flaxseed offers fiber and some nutrients, you need to use ground flaxseed for absorption, but expect minimal active omega-3, so consult your vet. All right. So this ain't Raul just wanting to point the finger at Blue Buffalo or whoever else is giving flaxseed. I'm just calling you out on your BS.
So
you
they
come out
chose a source of omega-3s that's a very poor source for dogs.
Exactly. Bingo. So
But
that's
it's probably
why
the cheapest to outsource, I'm sure.
you got it, Mike. That's what it all ultimately comes down to, right? So let me go to the comments here real quick. I know I've ignored you guys for a minute, man. I just got on a little bit of a tangent. We got only 6 more minutes to go. I'm trying to hit on everything that I can before I let you guys go. So real quick, Anthro Bully Dog says, greetings, dog people's thought on grizzly oil and or other salmon oils, like brilliant, thanks. I didn't know there was such thing as grizzly oil. Mike, maybe you've heard of it. You could educate me on that.
No, I haven't heard of it.
To me, when I hear grizzly oil, I'm thinking of grizzly bear. I could be wrong. Salmon oil, definitely, it's phenomenal. Very high in omega-3s. That's one of the things that helps you balance the inflammation. If the dog kibble makes the dog sick, the veterinarian corporations get more money. Shade Tree, you hit it on the head, but that's for another type of live. We'll talk about the collusions. We're going to have to make a live on the collusions here.
That's what that is.
I think it means allowable, not necessarily desirable. Okay. Golden Rule, Bullies checking in. Okay. We got, so omega-6 is the seed oils they want to remove from our foods now, as they are not healthy. Correct. So why are you putting it into my dog food? And you're patting yourself in the back while you're doing it. You know why they're doing it? Because they're betting that the majority of you are ignorant enough to think that their patting on the back is a good thing for your dog. Bottom line. But now they just got called out. Not just Blue Buffalo. I'm talking about any dog food out there that's putting flaxseed in and saying it's a source of omega-3s. We all know that based on what we just saw.
I tell you, I've learning all this stuff I've learned about kibble over the years, and all the different videos that you have on it. If y'all go to the QBN app and type in dog food videos, he's got dozens on there.
Oh, yeah.
And gone over a ton of brands. And I've learned that marketing is huge in dog food, which we already knew, but I don't think people know until they investigate, like he's saying, just really how bad it is. It's terrible, man. There's very few kibbles at all that are anything but a bag of flour for your dog.
This is true, man. Let me shout out VI Push and For More. The amount of stuff I've learned from this channel is crazy. Outside of my own research, I trust no other source online. None but love, bro. Can I get some claps, Kyle? Can I get some claps? Kyle's practicing his yeah. There you go.
He's practicing with his trigger finger, yeah.
There you go, man. Here we go. Shade Tree says, and the heating process causes free radical damage to the dog when the omega are cooked at high temperature, especially flaxseed. Can you say it a little louder for the people in the back, Miss Shade Tree? You're dead on point. You can tell Miss Shade Tree has been learning a thing or two and doing her own research. Miss Ella, how's it going? Hello and good night, everyone. I'll have to catch the replay. Oh, first responder and tired. I hear you. I used to be a first responder. I know exactly. Just be safe out there. Nothing but love for you. Thank you for stopping by. Salvador Enriquez, how can you balance the lack of omega-3 without sardines? Actually, Salvador, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to have you guys remind me at the end of the live how you balance the omega-3s. My recommendation is what we use in my yard is sardines, but make sure it's in water, not in oil. I don't care if it says olive oil on there. Do not. Trust me. Even if it was olive oil, dogs do not process vegetable oils like we do because they're carnivores. Okay.
Right.
So just keep that in mind. Byron Lewis, my dog is breaking out and I've been to the vet twice since early November. Second round of antibiotics and prednisone. It's heartbreaking to see her irritated spots, and some of them are dandruff looking spots. All right, Byron Lewis, man, all I can tell you, bro, I have a playlist I really strongly recommend you watch. Learning about this 5-to-1 ratio can definitely help your dog in many ways, and in other things that we're going to be talking about here tonight as well. So make sure to stay tuned. Just say no to dog kibble. It's poison. I know it is, Miss Shay, but do you know why it is I'm making these videos? I'm going to tell you why I'm making these videos on dog kibble. I am aware that the majority of dog owners, okay, do not either have the time, the willingness, or the economy, depending where they live in the country, to feed raw. So they feed kibble. If you're going to feed kibble, then I might as well kind of open up your eyes to a couple of things so you could at least be feeding the very best of the worst rather than just saying nothing and, you know, let you go basically on your own. And or supplementing and adding little bells and whistles to your kibble to bring it up a notch. Exactly. So look, people like Jeremiah Martinez, what about ProPlan salmon? Listen, I don't have, listen, do you know how many dog food brands are out there? You could literally grab a handful of sand and drop it on a table. And for every sand grain, you have a different type of dog food. Do yourself a favor. Watch this video. Listen to the 5-to-1 ratio. Listen to how I'm going over the ingredients and apply that same logic to any other dog food you have out there. You're going to know, okay? Instead of asking me, what about 2 + 2? Instead of that, let me show you 2 + 2 = 4. Now you can just go out on your own and figure it out for yourself, right? That's what I'm getting at. What about next level? Yeah, same thing. Jeremiah Martinez, I'm currently using it. Not sure how well it's working because my dog's still experiencing bad breakout. Oh, okay. So I guess he's using the Pro Plan Salmon. So I'm going to tell you guys something. And in this video, I show it where I actually picked up a bag of Victor. I believe it's called Ocean Fish Formula. If I'm mistaken on the name, it's similar to that. And it's Ocean Fish. I remember I turned over the bag and I'm thinking, okay, if you're saying ocean fish, we should have some higher omega-3s. I'm just going to let you go watch this video and watch what happened. You'd be surprised. What Mike said about marketing, you gotta go out here with your eyes open. Okay.
Yeah.
Because
got dog foods that don't even have fish in it on the label got a better ratio than ones with fish.
Yes, and that's what has been happening, guys. This is exactly what has been happening. What about next level? Okay, I already told you guys. Watch this. Use the information you learn from here. You don't have to ask me or anybody about dog foods. You're going to have your own opinions. I promise you. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to catch up here. Shea Tree, the very best of the worst. I belly laugh for all. Good one. Let me bring up Kyle. What you got, Kyle?
I was going to say that guy said something about he's using that same one and still getting breakouts. You got to remember, it's not just about the omega-3 and omega-6. Rawls done other videos on kibble that breaks down the ingredients and what's good and what's bad. Also, if you still can't figure it out and you have other allergies, he's done videos on how to do all sorts of things with allergies. Baths, shampoos, what to do if the kibble, if you're trying to pinpoint what ingredient is. I mean, there's videos on all this stuff, guys. Don't forget.
Listen, guys, a lot of you watching, man, listen, we're limited on time. We're trying to reduce the amount of time that we do lives because people don't want to sit on a 1-hour live to get their one answer, right? And then we'll get someone that is not a member. And I don't want to wag my finger at you, but you're a non-member. You're not paying the channel. You're not helping in any way. You just want to cut in line and say, what about this brand? Fix my problem. That's all I need you for. And once I'm done, I just use you like toilet paper and I'm gone. And honestly, that's not how we designed this channel. If you're looking to use us as toilet paper, I suggest you jump off and go into somebody else's live. If you want to invest and you want to learn, that's what this platform is about. Okay.
Well, hey, you don't want to come on the lives as much. There's plenty of videos. You can get all your answers on the videos. Just go watch the videos.
Yeah.
That's what I suggest. Go watch the video.
Just pay with your time.
I can honestly say if somebody will go as far back as they can with a membership and go back in the videos at QBN and just start watching and learning and work their way all the way through, you will have a master's in dogs.
And you're not going to have
if you'll just retain a portion of it.
Here's the problem.
You'll be ahead of the game, I promise you.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem, guys. People will prioritize flipping through shorts that make them giggle over watching a 10-minute video that's going to change everything that's going on with your dog. Period.
That's true.
That's the bottom line. And so I'm not fighting it. Guys, I'm not fighting it. I'm going to follow my script. I'm going to follow my design. And if I just don't answer your question because you're trying to
go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
If I don't answer your question when I realize you're trying to cut in line in front of my paying members, then it's being done purposefully. It's no mistake. I'll skip over your question. I'll even look at it and I know the answer, but I'm not going to give it to you. Why is that? Because to make a video, I could spend 12, 15 hours. That's just making the video and editing it and getting it ready and uploading it. Then it turns out to be anywhere between an 8 to 10 minute video. Oh, you can't pay with your time, but you can definitely show up and ask a question and then snap out. Come on, man. It makes no sense for the person that's doing the creation, right? And that's the whole thing. You either buy in or get out. It's that simple. And I don't mean to come across as a dictator or a pirate or anything like that. But if you just like to flip or you want to follow these creators that act like they're breeders, they've only been breeding for a year, but I'm gonna give you some advice. And by all means, you need to head in that direction. But if you really want to learn, you got to put in some time, my friend. And nowadays, you don't even have to sit there and read a book. You just have to sit there and watch a 10-minute video, 15-minute video. And now you come out of there knowing more than 90% of the dog community because they're too busy trying to flip, and just have fun and laugh and this and that. So that's what it comes down to. So I'm going to get off of my soapbox here real quick. Let me see if I can answer some quick questions, man. We got Sean Wheeler saying, I was a breeder of Labrador Retrievers for over 20 years, and I've learned so much listening to this podcast. I love it. Sean Wheeler, let me just tell you something, bro. Thank you for taking your time and dropping a comment like what you just dropped. Because if you were breeding for 20 years and you're still able to learn from a guy that's only been breeding for 10, it just says that we're on the right track, bro, and that we're giving out some good information. So I really appreciate that, man. Let's see here. Can you have a live for those who feed kibble and a live for those who feed raw? I would love to, but I can't. Okay, I can definitely make a live for both. But at the bottom line, I will give you this information now because I definitely don't want to shortchange people that are feeding raw. When you're feeding raw, one of the first things I tell you when it comes down to feeding raw is do not feed animal livers unless you know those animals are kosher or they haven't received the antibiotics, growth hormones, and steroids that the regular grocery store beef and chicken livers have. Why am I saying this? Raul, you're saying that because you're trying to sell some Nuvet. Not really, bro. The reason I'm telling you not to do that is because I'm not doing that. And the reason I'm not doing that, and look it up, man, it's not me. If you're feeding beef liver, where do you think the hormones and the growth hormones and the steroids are going to end up at? They end up in two places, the liver and right underneath the layer of fat, right? So you start feeding beef liver or chicken liver to your dogs and you feed it, for a long time. And these animals are receiving growth hormones. Don't take Raul's word for it. I want you to go online and research it. After your dog turns 3, right? Growth hormones automatically come down. Because if they don't, they will start feeding into tumors and cancers. So what happens if you're here feeding that beef liver, that chicken liver that's so cheap, right? And so effective? Depending on your dog's condition and depending on their age, you may just be feeding cancer slices, one right after another, without even knowing. Okay? Unfortunately, you just heard me talk about it, so it's a little bit too late for you. Now you know. But that's the reasoning behind that. And that's why
my thing is too, Ro, why is somebody so opposed to listening to somebody that's obviously a dog advocate, right? That's telling you, hey, this is a safe source of these vitamins and minerals. As opposed to what you're buying from Walmart, like I said, does it all fall into Nuvet being a good product? Yeah, it does. But the reason why QBN and the rest of us stand behind Nuvet is because it's a quality product.
It works. But you know what I would love to see? The world is kind of flipped on its head. What I would love to see is that same questioning that you're, whatever I'm throwing at you, the same way you're questioning it, I hope you would take the same approach in questioning Google, questioning ChatGPT. I just had a dude call me up this week telling me that ChatGPT, it had to do with nutrition. I don't even remember what it was. It was so off the wall. And here's the thing about ChatGPT, Grok, and any other AI. Not only are they influenced on the other end, but depending how you write the question, depends how you're going to get the answer. So if you don't know how to write the question properly, if you're street talking to it, you're going to be in a world of hurt, my friend, because it is made to influence you off of whoever's paying on the back end. And if you don't know how to ask the right question, it's going to say, well, I told you this because this is exactly what you asked for.
Yeah.
And you have nobody else to blame but yourself. Straight up. Real quick, let's jump in. Or Kyle, can you have the new breeder sound on? Because I got to shout out the Bakari. They just became members. Go ahead.
Pues claro que sí, cabrón.
Claro que sí, cabrón. We do this every Monday at 8 p.c.s.t. Also, make sure to watch our shorts. Make sure to watch our playlist, Getting Rid of Yeast. Watch that playlist. Not only is it going to help your dog get rid of yeast, it's get all this information I'm talking about, nutritional information that leads to allergies and things like that. That's exclusively right into that playlist. Straight up, man.
There's playlists on everything, guys. You just got to go check it out. Or like Mike always brings up, you can go in the search bar if you're on the laptop, type in your subject, and it'll pull all the videos up for that subject. It's that easy, man.
Hey,
Really
Jeremiah Martinez says, I tried the garlic, but it don't change anything. All right. Well, it just changed something. It definitely did. By the way, Jeremiah, thank you for commenting. Do you know how many people out here think that when you feed garlic to your dog, it's going to kill it? You just said it didn't do anything. So thank you, Jeremiah Martinez. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you for your comment, bro. It's really that simple. I'm a little tired of revisiting the kibble topic. I got you, Nadies. But listen, I've had to hit on the kibble topic, and I normally hit on the topics that I'm being hit with during the week. I get a bunch of people hitting me up. If you have any raw questions, you're a paying member, bro. By any chance, just drop your question. I will stop the world and answer your questions. All right. I love my QBN library. There you go. There you go. Nadies 8067. I know who you are, man. Number love for you. Appreciate the info, QBN and panel. Nobody's talking about this info is priceless. Of course they're not. They're too busy trying to sell you a dog and trying to get you into a new trend and trying to do this and trying to do that. And now all of a sudden, everybody wants to sell Nuvet. What do you think they do when it's time to sell Nuvet? I'm willing to bet they're watching 2 or 3 of my videos so they can repeat what I say, because nobody else been doing this for the last 10 years like we have. So I'm just throwing that out there because everybody and their sisters all of a sudden trying to act, because that's what they do online. They'll steal a creator's content, repeat it in their head 100 times, and then talk to you confidently like that's exactly what they're doing. When we all know, you just started breeding yesterday. All of a sudden you're selling Nuvet? Jesus Christ. And you're talking the same thing other dude was talking about? Wow. You must be
real quick before we get out of time. You wanted to talk to everybody about fertility and
yes,
and how having the right nutrition ties back to fertility for breeding, and how kibble lacking some things is really affecting dogs getting pregnant.
Yes. Yes, you just hit it on point. So we were talking about omega-6 being inflammatory, and we were talking about omega-3 being anti-inflammatory, right? So if a female, and I spoke about pyometria, and the main cause of pyometria is hormonal. Don't get it twisted, guys. I understand that there's going to be a bacterial infection, maybe even viral or even fungal. I get that, okay? But that bacteria, fungus, or virus will never get to the uterus if the hormones are playing right. How many of us out here have females who have irregular cycles? I'm sure there's quite a few of you raising your hands. If you're feeding kibble, do yourself a favor right now. Walk on over, grab that bag, flip it over, and I want you to go look at the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio. And if it's above a 5-to-1 ratio, my recommendation for you is you need to start looking for another kibble that does. Okay? That's the first step.
It's definitely a contributing factor at that point.
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's a contributing factor because if your dog is getting way too much inflammation, right? So let me tell you how the body works, how the dog's body works. Let's say there's 10 slots, okay? 10 slots, okay? And you have, I don't know, 20 omega-6, okay, flying around. They haven't landed on the spots yet. And you have 5 omega-3s, okay? What ends up happening is the omega-6 and the omega-3, they're all competing for those spots. And if out of those 10 spots, say 8 of them are filled with omega-6 and only 2 are filled with omega-3, then all of a sudden you're imbalanced. You have higher inflammation response for everything in the body than you do anti-inflammatory.
Not enough to counter it, right?
So in the uterus, what ends up happening is the fluid in the uterus starts becoming thickened, right? Because that's how inflammatory response acts in the uterus. And rather than when it's thin, when that fluid is thin and not thickened, it may be created today, and by tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, that fluid may make it down the vaginal tract and out, right? It doesn't stay there circulating, right? But the thickened one does. It'll stay there circulating, and the more time is there circulating, the more time it's giving it for bacteria to get there and cause an infection. So, what are 2 things that you need, in my opinion, to go against pyometria? First thing I already spoke about, you need higher omega-3. You could, if you don't want to get away from the kibble that you're feeding, then get yourself a can of tuna, or better yet, sardines in water, okay? And make sure you're adding that to the kibble. And that's going to balance the inflammation to anti-inflammatory effect a lot better. The second thing I'm going to tell you your dog needs big time for reproduction, vitamin B complex. And where do you get it? Nuvet NuJoint DS. Yes, that's where you get it. Because the vitamin B complex is not just vitamin B1 thiamine, vitamin B2, vitamin B3. No, it's the whole spectrum. In particular, to vitamin B12. So let me go ahead and bring this up on the screen because I believe I brought it up. So can you see the screen, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. So look what I wrote. What vitamin Bs does Nuvet and NuJoint DS offer that help with repro, right? Nuvet and NuJoint DS contains specific B vitamins and related nutrients that support repro health, fertility, and embryonic development, largely through the inclusion of brewer's yeast and chicken liver, right? I spoke about chicken liver a minute ago. I'm just letting you know, guys, that chicken liver that they're using there is no hormones or none of that stuff up in there, just straight up. Nuvet plus key reproductive B vitamins. Here we go. Vitamin B12, essential for maintaining fertility and promoting normal growth and development. Vitamin B3 promotes healthy nervous system. B1, B2, B5, and B6 include to support metabolic function and red blood cell formation. Folic acid, which is B9, specifically listed as necessary for health growth and cell division. Beta carotene acts as a precursor to vitamin A, which is required for embryonic function. Okay. By the way, dogs are also able to make vitamin A. So having beta carotene as a precursor is really good to have on board, right? So there you have it, man. You got the vitamin Bs, you got your omega-3s, right? Whether it's through sardines or through salmon oil, or you're buying the kibble that's got a 2-to-1 ratio, 3-to-1 ratio, 5-to-1 ratio, you're set, okay? If you're having issues with your dogs reproducing and these 2 things are not matching, that might just be your answer, all right? And Saratha, do you think that is why Victor was causing fertility issues a couple of years back? It's possible in Saratha. Like I said, the omega-6 and omega-3 ratio is only one variable of many variables that go into dry dog food. I mean, from just the fact that dry dog food gets cooked and vitamins and minerals get denatured, that's your biggest variable right off the bat, right? Then on top of that, they're using these subpar ingredients like flaxseed, giving flaxseed to a carnivore for omega-3. We just saw, it's not Raul saying it, we just saw they're not going to consume much of it, right? So there's just so many different things. So I can't sit here and say that that's the only reason, but could it be an attributing factor? Absolutely. Shade Tree saying, Raul, have you done the Nuvet raffle yet? I have not. I'm glad you brought it up. I will be doing it. So if it's not tomorrow, it'll be the day after, but it will be done, Shade Tree. That is not an issue. I was going to do it on the 24th, but I had no voice. Okay, which I don't even know how I was able to do this last video we did. Bakari, can you remind us how much bottles do you recommend to get to make it efficient? As far as Nuvet, okay, so I don't have a bottle up here. So the green bottle, right? You give one round wafer a day for a dog that weighs 5 pounds or more, right? And that bottle, that green bottle right there, brings 90 wafers. So it brings 3 months worth, right? The blue bottle up there is weight-based. Okay, you got to give glucosamine with chondroitin, MSM, all that. You got to give it weight-based. You can't give it, oh, the dog's over 5 pounds, just give a wafer. No, you could do that with the vitamins, but if you did that with the glucosamine and chondroitin and you gave too much, you could actually cause liver damage. So that's why you got to kind of balance that out. And so the reason I recommend the DS is because it is double strength. That way you don't run out of it before the 90 days are done. So I always recommend 1 green and 2 blues. And that's just so that everything matches for the 90 days. So whatever the price is, do me a favor, whatever the price is, right? Oh, it's $150. Okay, great. Now divide it by 90 because it's for 3 months. And then you realize, oh, okay, it's just $1, I don't know what, $1.40, $1.50. That's how that goes. We got Ricardo Camarena saying, sorry, guys, sad day. My 9-month-old boy has to get a FHO surgery. I feel like his show career is over already, had prolapse surgery done. Sometimes we take a loss. Do your homework before you buy. Ricardo, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I seen you. I've been through your Facebook. I seen you so proud with that dog and your son showing him. I'm really sorry to hear that you're going through this, bro. And unfortunately, you're also reemphasizing what I always say, and that's do your homework, because once your money's over there and the dog is over here, everything falls on you, bro. And I'm sorry that this has to be your case, bro. Let's see. Sherry Fields, what about 150 pounds and 5 Rotties? Follow the instructions in the bottle. I don't have a bottle in front of me, so I can't tell you. Mike, you got a puppy in your hands? Let me see it.
Well, they brought it to me. This is our little boy Bear, and he's off the Solstice litter. And this little guy, he's special to me, man.
Look at that.
He's 8 days old. He's already 2.2 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
He's a beast already, man. Beautiful, like smut markings. He's a hoss, man. We're really proud of this little guy. And I guess he's been missing me. You
kind of look like him, Mike. Yeah, big old round head. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be special, man. I'm sorry for him whining. He's
No, it's all good, man. Number love, bro. I love the litter, man, and love you being able to share that with us. But guys, pretty much that's all I got for y'all tonight. Let me bring in Hollywood and Holly Wizard. you can start us off, but before you do, tonight, our sign off, I want us all to talk about something that happened this year that has anything to do with us or even not, that you just want to bring up, and what you got going on or waiting for in 2026.
That's what you're saying we're going to be doing right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. You just put me on the spot. I'm blank. I'm done.
Okay. All right, Michael Higginson. What you got, man? What happened in 2025 for you that kind of changed the direction of your kennel or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I had put my first 2 litters on the ground in 2025. Got our building here to upgrade our facilities, and going on into this new year, plan on doing a lot more showing, upgrading our facilities even further, and getting further down that road. Hopefully, use this litter right here, which seems to be very exceptional so far, to kind of build a foundation for this new era of Creek Bend Kennel.
Mike Barley 93 says, Mike, how do we get in touch with you about available pups from this litter?
You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, Creek Bank Kennel, 3 words. And just DM me, man. Get at me about it.
All right, man, you got it. Well, guys, listen, this year has been an amazing year. It really has, because you guys know we pivoted over a year and a half ago. We brought in a lot of dogs. They're now maturing. We're now actually breeding. Blueberry today, we confirmed he's going to be going into a female that I wasn't expecting, and we're just really excited. Blueberry should be going in the ring right off the bat in 2026. Get him going. We got Sunshine up to bat, getting ready to go in heat. So too girls, so too many others. We got many other dogs. So just really excited about that. I'm kind of at a loss for what's to come this year, because for this last year, I wasn't able to do as many breedings as I wanted to. But this coming year, based on what we're looking at anywhere between 6 to 8 breedings. So it's going to be a challenge, but we're up for it and we're excited about it. And one of the breedings out there, I didn't say it, but Adam Fields just did. He's already talking about Blueberry to his girl Autumn, which I'm excited about because she is a fireball daughter, right? And so that's just one of many that are coming. If you guys are interested in hearing more, make sure to download QBN app. It is absolutely free, and you can see our upcoming litters there as we're going to be letting people know. Let me go to Hollywood one last time. Do you want to say anything before we head out?
Yes. I just want to say, guys, if y'all need anything or any questions, don't forget, do the search bar, type in your question there, put whatever subject you want on there. That way you can look it up and give you some answers, or just join the live or become a member for $5 a month, and you can get all your questions answered right here anytime. It's your boy Hollywood Holland, your boy in the back of the queue. We're catching you on the next one.
Hey, you know how it is, man. It's been Raw from the queue, and I'll be catching you next week, 8 PC.
We are going for a whole hour, straight dog talk, and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate.